Good evening, Jamie. Thank you for joining Lamps Media. Obviously, you've now moved on to Walsall, which is a fantastic opportunity. Just talk us through how you're feeling right now.
It's all been a bit of a whirlwind, really. It's all happened so quickly. But I'm over the moon to obviously step back into the full-time game.
Yep.
Is something that I've always sort of aspired to be as a professional footballer, and to get back to into the EFL is something that I'm super proud of.
Absolutely. Let's just talk months ago now. Obviously, when you first initially joined, it was on loan from Kings Langley. What were your thoughts about joining us originally?
Well, again, signed a contract with Kings Langley at the start of last season.
Yeah.
And obviously I came here and played against obviously Tamworth, and that's when sort of like I spoke to Petey and things like that, and that's when obviously I found out that they wanted to get me in, and really keen to get me in because again he put in a 7 there for me when I was at Kings Langley the season before. So he's always sort of known about me, and I know that he was working hard to try and get me in. And when it did happen for the first month, I was over the moon. I was obviously coming here into a team that was already doing well, and to come in and play with better players is something that I always want to do. I always want to push myself and get into an environment where the team was already doing well, and I wanted to be a part of that and obviously push the team on further. So that month for me really sort of kick-started my season, but obviously it got cut short after obviously a bit of a tough time with Kings Langley and things like that. But to rejoin then again in Feb, to then go on the run that obviously ultimately won the league, and it was honestly the Redditch game was probably the best day I've had in my football career by a mile.
You obviously scored, didn't you? I bet that was a great feeling to finally try and score last season.
I know, I only scored 2 goals last season, and they were both in the same goal. One bit more important than the other, but I dream about that moment. That will live with me forever. The feeling when I scored, and the importance of it was something very special.
And then obviously moving on to this season, I think it's fair to say we're higher than a lot of people would almost think we'd be. I mean, some more new players coming in. How have you found it this season?
Well, at the start of the season, it's like we had obviously we're an ambitious group. We always have been. The gaffer, Tim, Chance, they always want us to obviously do as well as we can, and I think the league table is no coincidence at all. The lads are so hard working. We all pull in the right direction, and that helps so much. We might not be the best footballing side, but the heart and character in the changing room will always outwork the footballing side of it, and that shows when you're 9 points clear. It's no coincidence. Mm-hmm. But honestly, the changing room is the best changing room I've been involved in, and probably won't get better than that. And it stems from the gaffer, Champs, and Tim. What they inject into us is top drawer.
Massively, and obviously, like you say, you can see it on the pitch. We'll just quickly brief on them. Darlington, obviously, you had to come off injured. We all saw how gutted you were. How is your injury at the moment?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting better. Obviously, with all of the speculation over the last few weeks, it was obviously a tough moment for me.
Of course.
Because it was a special game for me personally. It's obviously my 50th appearance, and it didn't go how I planned. And to come off so early and sort of just like leave the boys out there, so I'll always play through what I can. It's like the Farsley game, I could barely run, but I always want to stay on the pitch and obviously fight. but it was a step too far for me that game, and I had to obviously go off injured, and it's not what I wanted, and it wasn't the way I wanted to remember my last game here. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm honestly proud to say that I've played for this club, and honestly proud to say that I've left the club in a really good position.
Absolutely. Finally, then, you were obviously announced that you've joined Walsall tonight, and the response from our supporters it has been brilliant. The encouragement, looking forward to watching you go high up in the leagues. Have you got a final comment you would like to say to them?
Where do I start? Ever since I first joined the club, everyone's made me feel welcome. That's from the fans all the way up to the board. Who else I've got to say a massive thank you to is obviously everyone behind the scenes who have also contributed to helping me push on. But again, the fans are just, wow, the best I've played under. And honestly, I'll always be around. I'm always going to come and support the boys. But they're a credit to the club. Honestly, the support they give, the atmosphere they bring on match days is second to none. And I'm honestly going to miss playing in front of them. But for all the kind comments and wishing me well, I can only say thank you.
That's brilliant. Well, we obviously welcome you any time, and we look forward to supporting you from afar. Thank you so much, JJ.
Thank you.